Hello, hello, my friends. Welcome back to the Dynamo. Football Manager 2023. The beta has just dropped, and it's basically Christmas to this community. This is their favorite time of the year. It's like birthdays, anniversaries, weddings, all come second to this game's beta dropping. It's not even the full release. Full release is 2 weeks into the cycle of this game. That's what this day means to us. We love this day, and in the content creation world, what this means is this new beta save time. It's time to just basically rip up whatever league you're in with just a team you usually wouldn't start with. And I've never managed Manchester City before. Hell, that's a statement that most people on the planet can echo. There's only been like 17 managers. It's probably many more than that, but who knows? Manchester City are just one of those teams that absolutely they're basically playing the game on cheats. It's playing it on God mode. You can't be beaten. So that's kind of the challenge. Let's try absolutely dominate this league, and let's try not to lose games. Let's try to just win as many as possible. It shouldn't be incredibly difficult with this team because the system that you are playing with here, it's just the amount of quality in this side is just unbelievable. And they have the absolute monster that is Erling Haaland. This man he's steroids on steroids. The man is an absolute beast. He's a tank. He should look at that 14 stamina, hang his head in shame. He's an absolute terrible player. Look, it just drags down the rest of his physicals. You can't call him a machine anymore. You can't call him a monster anymore. Look at that. Look, the game is even ashamed of it, that it's covering up the 14 when all attributes are between 1 and 20, and then shows you a bunch of 16, 70s and 90. I'm only messing with you. This player is just not fair. 20 determination, all that flair, he's an athlete, and he's a ruthless clinical athlete at that. It is going to be a lot of fun to just rip up this league. Now, if I was doing a long-term save with City, I guess the goal would be to try get Haaland. I would have a front three of Haaland, De Bruyne. I'm going to play around with De Bruyne being a false nine. I like the idea of using his creative flair, his agility, and his passing to just play kind of a bit of a Roberto Firmino role. I think that could be a lot of... I'm a Liverpool fan, just in case anyone doesn't know. I think it would be a lot of fun to just experiment with De Bruyne in that role, because like a few Football Manager backs, one of the things I did is I had Luis Suarez and Coutinho, Suarez playing a poacher role, Coutinho playing a false nine role, and it was a devastating combination. I was not expecting it to work. Boy, did it work. So I'm kind of playing around with the idea of having Haaland and De Bruyne doing that role. So I have that set up here with De Bruyne and Haaland, and then Grealish and Silva playing those left-right. But this is mainly what I'm going to be playing with. Haaland playing as an anchor man. The man is an absolute beast. I bet you he could put in a good shift in that role. Let's throw you back here. This is how I want this working. De Bruyne is just playing as a centre mid attack, because I found that there must be some sort of just like broken cheat code with the way that role works. Centre mid attack with some supporting players around you. It's broken, and because I have De Bruyne on that right hand side with Silva playing that attacking inverted winger, I'm just going to have Walker doing that defensive role. Also crossed up with the position that he's not good at crossing, he's not good at dribbling. So what he's a bit of a pace merchant that can kind of move in and around, use that work rate to be a bit of a workhorse up and down that right wing. But I don't want him moving too far forward. I want him just holding into that space here and kind of making sure that my right flank does not become a liability for me, because I'm going to have De Bruyne and Silva playing very attacking down that right hand side. Grealish and Cancelo. Grealish kind of pulling in, Cancelo bombing up that left hand side, because I want him utilising that crossing and that dribbling. I want him just going forward and putting in those critical balls for Haaland. I'm also thinking about De Bruyne just playing as a Mazzala as well, just to have him moving slightly out wide. Did I see? Gets forward. Yes. Gets further forward. Yes, there's a lot of problems going on here. We'll play you as... Actually, no, I'm going to hold you as the attack. I need to figure out, is that PPI going to cause a problem? Is that actually going to get in the way of how I want to play this? And ironically, with a false nine, he'll actually drop back. So it actually suits his PPIs. What are his PPIs now that I think about it? Actually tries killer balls often, places shots, comes deep to get ball. You know what? He's better suited to a false nine than he gives himself credit for. I'm going to start training him in that role, actually, because He can play the absolute hell out of that position. Oh, I think I might have spotted a problem here. See, the problem I'm having is that you can't see it at the bottom, but my my Windows bar is appearing at the bottom. One sec. There we go. Got that fixed up. Just had to bring it into windowed mode, put it back to full screen mode. Well, I wait for this to come true. Now, I'm already playing with what are they called? The logo packs, because here if you don't already know this is a little bit of a secret. The graphics packs, they cross between games because they're just XML files. All it's doing is it's reading locations in folders and then applying those graphics to unique IDs. And Football Manager does not change these IDs between games, especially for something like the English League, because these are all like really, really low down on the ID table. Because I spend a lot of time in the editor, I've just kind of noticed this over the years. So you can just literally just move your graphics folder from Football Manager 22 and just move it into Football Manager 23. There you go. You have graphics now. So that's what I'm playing around in this one. And like I said, City, we're going to see how many games in a row we can win, because I'm expecting to absolutely destroy this league, and it's not going to be pretty. So squad wise, what I'm trying to do is Stones and Diaz in midfield, in defence, kind of both playing ball-winning midfielders, but having Diaz playing as a stopper because I want him pushing ahead of the lines. The reason why is because he's got good aggression, good bravery. I considered playing him as a cover, but I also feel like that 6-1 cover, but he doesn't really have the pace to play in that covering role, because I like my covering centre-backs to be able to kind of have a bit of a burst of pace, to be able to come back so that they can try kind of sweep onto the end of those balls, rather than having an inviting pressure to have a player kind of knocking over the top of you. So if I have him coming forward, using that strength, using that aggression as well as the bravery, he's also got good concentration and composure. So I trust him to be able to do that role. He's got the positioning and the work rate to be able to pull it off and to put in that shift. And look at the tackling, the marking. Could have better heading, but look, He's only human. He's only played for Portugal 37 times. He's only human. John Stones, again, he's taller. He's got better heading, but he just doesn't have the aggression or the bravery. So I'm just playing with him. I'm playing with him as a ball-winning midfielder. Kyle Walker and Cancelo. Cancelo being the far more aggressive, giving him way more license to move forward. I'm looking at these players' wages and I'm getting very, very jealous, because they earn in a week what I earn in a year. It's very upsetting. Actually he earns less than me. I'm happy with that. Now, he earns... What a ridiculous statement. I'm happy that he earns less than me. He earns in a week less than what I earn in a year. I'm happy with that. That is ridiculous. Roger, you don't play there. What is going on? Rodri, get back here. De Bruyne, yeah. So Gundogan playing on that right-hand side. Rodri playing as a defensive deep line, because I want him covering the space that Cancelo's going to bomb forward with. So there's going to be a big gap over here. So I want a defensive-minded player that can pull back a little. I considered playing him as a Carriello, but I feel like he's just going to drift into those white spaces rather than defend those white spaces. That's really what I want him to do. I don't want him just kind of covering that space to cut off passing lanes. I want him to be positioning into positions to actually be pessimistic with his positioning. And Grealish playing that supporting role isn't going to bomb forward, because I have Haaland playing on that left-hand side. I want him utilising those half spaces and utilising those spaces available to him. I don't want Grealish getting in Haaland's way. I'm playing around with moving Haaland kind of more come on, do it. We're playing Haaland more centrally, but I'm afraid of De Bruyne playing in that right half space is just going to cloud it up for Silva. So I'm just going to have to experiment the position to find out how it works. That's the 4-2-4 and how that works. Kind of, you can see between the 4-2-4 and the 4-3-4, kind of like between the lines, the defence and the midfield, it's going to play relatively similar. Where I have similar enough roles, they shift, because in the 4-3-3, I have an anchor man playing between the lines to make sure that we're not too what's the word I'm looking for? To make sure that we're not too open in attack, because we have a lot of players flooding forward. Whereas in the 2-4-2, Gundogan playing as an advanced playmaker and support. In that support role, he's going to be trying to put himself into space so that he can be available for the ball, but Rodri just playing that out-and-out defensive role. And the reason I'm comfortable playing Gundogan as an advanced playmaker rather than a deep-lying playmaker is because I've got Walker playing as a wing-back defence, which means he is looking to be pessimistic with his positioning. That is a key thing to understand about defensive positioning. They're going to be pessimistic with how they interpret the flow of the game. So you can allow Gundogan to put himself into positions expecting to get that turnover, so that he's making himself available for those passes, and Walker and Rodri are both expecting Gundogan to not be able to make the play. That is what allows Gundogan to be able to play in an advanced position, not a deep lying position. If you play him in a deep lying position, he's too far away from De Bruyne and Silva. So that's why he's playing advanced. That was a long-winded explanation to explain why dots in a video game are moving around. Oh, it's a beta day. I'm so happy. So we are going to see if we can get away with playing a game. We are coming on to the 10-minute mark. So let's see if we can get through to playing the... Oh, I love this screen. It's the first time I'm seeing this screen now. Okay, so how many of our fans are... 22% are fair weather. 32% core. Not too bad. 6% hardcore. Okay. Family tickets, not too bad. The 19% casual. Hopefully we can shrink that. Corporate are 3%. That's very good. I like that. Supporters have a very high influence over the board. 43,000 season ticket. And then 95,000. So basically what this means is if we want to expand the stadium, we have tickets to burn. They are really waiting to get through. And they really want positions in the stadium, because I think the Etihad's only like 50,000, isn't it? Or no, club facilities only 53,400. Do we not own the stadium? Do Manchester not own? Why does one of the richest, arguably the second richest club in the world, why do they not own their stadium? That is ridiculous. Just build a new one at this point. Okay, I'm going to see if I can get through to the match. Back to you in a sec. That inter-squad friendly has arrived. So looking at it, it's basically first 11 versus second 11, and just like the absolute drop-off in quality between these two sides is kind of very evident. That I don't think of it this way, but Man City basically has a first team, and they don't really have that much depth and quality. Now, when you look at the players like Ake and Akanji, they're still Premier League quality. Like, they're still absolutely Premier League quality, and they'll do a job for us. But I wouldn't really be relying on Akanji or Ake. I wouldn't be relying on them to be my first choice centre backs. But even on top of that, because like Akanji, Ake, Gomez isn't a terrible defensive right player. It says here that his like best position is playing wide, although he has good. He doesn't actually. He's a wing back. Let's just be honest about this. He's got good positioning. He's got good crossing, and he's agile, and he has stamina. He is a wing back. But what's funny here is Riyad Mahrez, Foden, and Alvarez. So it's going to be very interesting to see how Mahrez, Foden, and Alvarez play against my defensive line. So I'm actually going to get something out of this game to be able to see how they cope against what I would consider to be decent Premier League quality opposition. This is definitely top 7 opposition here: Mahrez, Foden, and Alvarez. But I'm playing Bernardo Silva, Grealish, De Bruyne, and Haaland. So I won't be happy if I don't get like 6-0 here. So we're going to go with where is confirmed squads? Managed first 11 only. I'm happy with that. And we are going to play. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play with sound. I've never done that before. Why is there no sound? Is there sound? Where's my sound? Match preview. Okay. Do it. Dressing room. Let's just find out if the sound doesn't kick in for a little bit. Kick off. No, I'm hearing no sound. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's because the stadium's empty. Okay, so we're going to turn the sound off because there is frankly no point in having it on if we're just going to hear whistle. No. Let's turn this off. Okay, so Ruben has the ball. We know where this goes from here. Ruben bringing it forward. De Bruyne playing between those half spaces, finding himself in open positions. Grealish bringing it inside like I want him to. Oh, come on, ref. Very quick yellow card. It's moving a bit too fast for me. And extended, that's okay. So Foden and Bernardo just cleaning that up. Bringing it, all the way across there. No, I can't do anything with that one. So Mara's getting beyond this. Cancelo, well done. Gundogan bringing this out over towards Grealish. Grealish bringing this forward for De Bruyne. Oh, come on, De Bruyne. You got to be doing better than that. And Foden bringing it wide right. Left, I mean. Bring it back in. But Rodrigo has this. And go on. De Bruyne, what you going to do with it? Bringing it wide right to Grealish. And Haaland making a run through the middle. Haaland's free in open space. And the era begins not with a whimper, but with thundering applause. Yes, I'm making Star Wars references. De Bruyne just setting this ball up, bringing it over to Grealish. Grealish with that open space. And I was afraid that those wide players weren't going to be able to utilize the space. But De Bruyne is finding them. And Haaland is just getting him. Haaland's doing what Haaland does. He just kind of goes, ooh, space. I'm going to run into it. Bang, goal. There you go. Bernardo, go on. Do it. Stones. Have you got them? Alvarez bringing it forward. Okay, Foden. I always find the what are they called? Go on, Walker. Bring it forward. Back to Gundogan. Oh, I know what's happening here. Oh, nope. It's using the director cam. I don't want the director cam. I want the TV cam. So bring the height down. Zoom all the way in. Bring the height up a bit. Sounds off. Okay, that's fine. I completely lost track of what I was saying. It'll come to me eventually. Bernardo, I haven't set up my set pieces yet. I'll do that eventually. Bernardo, bring this in. Haaland, no. Haaland didn't know where to be because I hadn't told him where to be. Grealish, go on, just whip that in with your left foot. And Silva's just sitting there waiting. Okay, another corner. Oh yeah, and I remember, I never really know how to feel about these games, because when you're playing your second 11, because I'll get competitive in the I want my boys in I want my first team, I want my boys in the home strip, I want them to do well. Stones, go on, use that pace, bring it in for Phillips. I mean, Phillips got on the end of it. Gundogan, Rodrigo, what you gonna do, Grealish? Should have done better with that. Should have done much better. But like I said, I never really know what to do in these situations because they're all my boys. They're all my team. Bernardo, going to bring this forward. Go on, set yourself into a position. Open for Haaland. Oh, beautiful, beautiful tucked away finish. Haaland just moving himself into that tiny little space in the 6-yard box and just smashing it past whatever my second choice goalkeeper's name is. I'm not really that impressed with De Bruyne so far. I feel like he hasn't put himself into positions to be able to be really effective with the ball, although the position is making those wide players very, very useful, and you can see it reflected in De Bruyne's rating. Oh, come on, Cancelo. Penalty? No penalty, apparently. Okay. Foden bringing it forward. Should be able to clean this up. Go on, Ruben. Cancelo over to Grealish. My wide players are really effective in this formation. Grealish and Haaland, go on. De Bruyne can't do anything with it. De Bruyne nearly with a Haaland nearly with a 50-minute hat-trick. There's a lot of green down there. There's a lot of players playing really well. Rodrigo and Gundogan both playing really well in those holding there's two holding roles. That's Cancelo going to get onto the end of this. Probably recycle it back through the back line. Back to Ederson. Juan Diaz. He was a player that I enjoyed signing, actually. Go on, Gundogan, bringing it forward to Bernardo. And Haaland getting onto the end of this should be a hat-trick. What was that? Haaland could have 4. He just wasn't faffing around. Go on, Bernardo Silva. And Rodrigo. First time. Okay, so we need to try and get... I was about to say, what's his name? I've forgotten probably one of the best players in the league. We need to try and get him into the game. So let's move around this formation. Let's bring Rodri back here. De Bruyne, Gundogan. Let's have you playing that Mazzala role. Gundogan playing that advanced playmaker role because we like his role. We like how he's doing. And Silva still, we want him occupying that wide insight role. So let's see if this gives us more love. Because we need to get De Bruyne on the roll. Not on the roll. We need to get De Bruyne on the ball. We need to get him into like attacking those spaces, and have him attacking that half space down that right hand side is a really, really dangerous position for him. So Ederson, bring this over to Rodri in the middle probably. Oh, just boots it wide up to Haaland. Haaland at the end of it. Oh, Bernardo, go on. Bring this wide for Grealish. Grealish, first time. Great save by my second choice. I thought Grealish was going to hit that first time. Bring it into the 30-minute mark. Okay, go on, Lewis. Akanji, just playing safe. Over to Bob. Bob O'Tubies. Mahrez. Oh, Mahrez just making absolute meat of Cancelo. Cancelo getting through, straight into the arms of Ederson. So I'm going to move this into key highlights because I just want to be able to see the finishing. Come on, come on. Bring this wide over to Cancelo. Cancelo, bring this wide. Haaland make himself available in that middle before going on a winding run to try put himself into the box. Grealish, set this up, bring it over to Bernardo, and Bernardo makes it 3. Beautiful, and you also see Haaland running into that same space. That may be a problem because De Bruyne and Silva are looking to attack the same space here. Because you can see it here, De Bruyne and Silva are trying to occupy that same space. Maybe if I have him just playing as a centre mid attack, I still see him attacking that. It's because he's playing that inside wing role. God, I'm surprised that Bernardo got that goal instead of De Bruyne. Oh no, are we having an opportunity here? I mean, by we, I mean they. Oh, Lewis, hit it first time? Oh, you know, if that was a goal, I would have been quite happy because that was a screamer. Okay, Ruben, go on. Bring this over to Grealish. Grealish get onto the end of it. Lewis just doesn't have the pace to keep up with him. Bring it back to Cancelo. Use your crossing. Use your crossing. Rodri just going, okay, ball, top corner. And then the ball just going, I'm going to hit the post instead. Okay, bring it to halftime. Beautiful. Okay. And we're keeping their XG down. I've been quite happy. You defended well. Midfielders, I'm very happy. Attackers, I mean, I can't be upset with him. He's doing really well. So I'm going to take you off the Mezzala role. I'm going to put you in the attack role. Gundogan playing that role. That's fine. Silva, what will I do with you? That's fine. Grealish. I'm going to take you off the support. I'm going to put you as... No, I'll keep you in that role. Cancelo. I'm noticing I'm not getting a huge amount of performance out of Walker, so I'm going to play you in the support role. I'm going to bring you into attack winger just to be safe. Rodri. I'm happy with you playing as an anchor man. You haven't really stepped foot out of line, so I've been quite happy with your role. And you're on 7.2. De Bruyne just needs to step up. Not been good so far. Okay, Ake. Nathan Ake. I have the boys playing with a press anyway. So Foden taking this on. Alvarez, first time. That's why you don't start for us, Alvarez. Good, getting myself into good positions. Did Phillips go off? Oh no, he's a good defensive midfield for me. Okay, what the hell are you doing taking free kicks? Ruben, oh my god, hit the post. Okay, so do I want to make some changes? Just see how other people are doing. Shouts, encourage. Foden, De Bruyne, get in there, go on. Bob with 2 B's, not 1. Haaland not getting into the end of that one. Okay, Grealish coming in to meet him, but it leaves way too much space open on that wide right. Lewis bringing it forward before bringing it over to Rodgers. And Rodgers trying to bring it. Alvarez is offside. Alvarez doesn't hit the target, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, go on. Clean this up, Stones. Bring it back to Rodri. Rodri over to De Bruyne. De Bruyne brings this forward to Bernardo. And Bernardo, you've got, oh, beautiful, beautiful through ball. Haaland, can't quite get on the end of it. He's still waiting for his hat-trick. He's at a 9.1, but he wants 3. Ake cleaning up. Palmer bringing it wide over to Alvarez. And Alvarez, oh, this is a great opportunity for Man City 2 at the moment. And Bob with the B. Double B Bob. Double B Bob. Ederson bringing this forward out to Stones. Stones just playing it through, bring it over to De Bruyne, trying to bring him into the game as De Bruyne brings it shoot to Haaland. Haaland just playing it laterally. De Bruyne it again. De Bruyne do that killer ball. See if he can get Haaland through on goal. Over to Gundogan. Oh, unselfish. Absolutely unselfish by Haaland. Just brings it over to Gundogan, playing that overlapping or underlapping. And just beautiful, calm finish. Puts it straight past the goalkeeper. Just watch this for a piece of beauty. And Haaland just finding the man in space, and Gundogan just coaxing it off of that inside post just to bring it into the goal. 4-0, nearly 70 minutes played. Need to get Haaland, not Haaland. We're getting Haaland on the ball. He has a 9.9. Rodri, go on. Over to Gundogan. Gundogan driving into space. Haaland getting through. Haaland for his hat-trick. And Haaland for his hat-trick. 5-0, it is what we expected, it is what we demand, and it is what we deserve. Great play by the boys in Sky Blue. Gundogan bringing this forward, just cutting through ball, cut through them like butter. So, do we bring Haaland off, or do we see how many we can get? So I want to see who else, because we've been nice. Here's the funny thing, because like if you go into reports, he only has like 2.5 stars, but like that's an okay player in there. There's another lads that Man City have on their bench who's not at all a bad player. I don't know any of these names. That is the disappointing part. You can tell I'm not a City fan because I don't know their team. You can see Rodri is pushing forward. Silva seems to be my furthest forward players. Bernardo's going to bring this in. Gundogan get on the end of it? No, can't quite get on the end of it. Ake. You know what I'm going to do? One thing I'm going to do is, rather than playing as a complete forward, I'm just going to play you as poacher. I want you just sitting on that last man. De Bruyne, I'm going to play you as a advanced playmaker, and Gundogan playing as a box-to-box. Do you have the stamina to play the role? You do have the stamina to play the role. You've got the passing, you've got the technique, you got the touch, got the teamwork. You can play that box-to-box role. And Rodri, I'm going to play you in the halfback because I want you just playing deeper. I want you sitting back there. Haaland playing a perfect 10. I am happy with you right now. Confirm changes. As Rodgers bringing this forward, utilize that man on the right side. Mahrez bringing this. Driving inside, Foden couldn't quite. That was a good ball. Foden just couldn't quite get on the end of it. As Cancelo brings this forward, he's going to set it up. Foden winning it back. Again, that's what I like to see. Foden has impressed me more than Grealish in this match, to be honest. Stones down to Gundogan. Rodri. Bernardo just sitting there, not quite ready for it. Alvarez. Oh, Stones with a great interception there. Alvarez. I mean, look, you can't be upset when your own players score. like I said, this is the difficulty of playing in those like first 11 versus second 11, because it still hurts when they score, because like that's your first team conceding and you know they didn't play well, but that was also one of your players that played well. And if you ever find yourself in a situation where you want to bring in a goal scorer, I've got Alvarez who can come on and do a job for us. So Ederson bringing this wide over to Cancelo. Oh Jesus, that was terrible. I've noticed that we've kind of just like, as we've been in a better position. Penalty? Alvarez getting a second. I'm not really happy right now. We've kind of fallen asleep a little. We're not being clinical. Palmer just gotten to the end of that. 5-2, and both goals were cheap. Ederson not at all happy with a 6.7 at the moment. Looks like it's going to finish 5-2. I mean, it is what I expected, but those 2 goals were cheap. But I guess that's just the way the cookie crumbles with this sort of situation. Their XG, they started getting more into the game, but as you can see with that halftime, we just kept plowing on into that ascendancy. We could and probably should have gotten more. But either way, look, it's the start of a new journey. It is the start of a new Football Manager. It is the start of a new series. Welcome back to the Dynamo, my friends. Catch you at the next one.